And what do you know? An opportunity presents itself. 4 days after our conversation with the Machina, we finally put our plan into action, with an assist from our reliable informant. Instead of a submarine, we're barreling toward Amane's old home in the school's sandbar. Naturally, Amane's behind the wheel. Might be a little much to say I'm ready to risk my life for this, but no matter what happens, I'm absolutely determined to get an answer out of Amane's father today. Mahama's Academy student number 0006, Kazami Yuji, reporting for duty.
Oh,
Aw, the mom doesn't have a portrait? Dang. What is this, a raid? Are we gonna toss a flashbang in there then follow up with a tear gas barrage? Well, whatever, let's start with the formalities. Pleased to meet you. My name is Kazami Yuji. I'm currently in a romantic relationship with your daughter. Please don't kill me. I apologize. It seems like you wouldn't even meet me otherwise. I understand that I'm being rude, but I'm very much wanted to speak with you. I'd like your permission to marry Amane. Doesn't seem like you're interested in hearing a more detailed explanation, so I decided to begin with the most important part. Well then, this is very important, so I'm going to repeat it. I'd like your permission to marry Amane. I'd like your permission to marry Amane. Alright, we're doing this. You're a bit impulsive, old man. Fine. Have it your way. Probably easier to let our fists do the talking. Guess there's only one way to shut up pig-headed fools like you. How about I beat you at your own game? Without much warning, Amane's father charges at me like an enraged water buffalo. Guarding myself against the old man's attacks, I throw out a few quick jabs. He doesn't even flinch. Ha! Even as I barrage him with a series of low kicks, he stubbornly charges forward. But that's exactly what I was expecting. After lowering his guard with the low kicks, I suddenly swing my elbow in a horizontal arc, aiming for the old man's face, but he leaned backward and evades it cleanly. Damn. Still, it's not over yet. I've got to follow up. After recovering from his momentary retreat, Amane's father begins to charge toward me once again. Having anticipated his movements, I launch a roundhouse kick into his abdomen. My heel hits the old man right in the gut, doubling him over as he reflexively covers his stomach. I reach out, grab his neck, kick my knee up into his vulnerable face. Oh. Blood spewing from his nose, he finally goes down. I know Muay Thai. I know more than Muay Thai. It's not just that, actually. My mixed martial arts incorporates elements of judo, boxing, aikido, krav maga, and even taido, an offshoot of ryukyuku karate. That's what I like to call Kazami-style self-defense. Although I bloodied Amane's father and brought him to his knees, it isn't long before he's charging forward once again. I respond to his question with an emphatic nod. This isn't a joke or a game. I'm gonna marry your daughter whether you like it or not. Curling my big toe to gain purchase against the floor, I assume a stance similar to the hasso used in kendo and brace myself for the coming attack. But instead of taking another swing at me, the old man grabs an empty beer bottle from a case in the corner of the room and hurls at me with all his might. What are you, a kid? This is great. Damn it! The old man isn't holding back in the slightest. He clearly doesn't want anyone taking his daughter anytime soon. I managed to deflect all the beer bottles he throws at me with the side of my hands, but in the very last one there's still some leftover liquid sloshing around inside. Gah. Suddenly showered in lukewarm alcohol like some victorious athlete, I flinch in surprise. The old man rushes toward me, roaring out a battle cry. Following his movements with my stinging eyes, I try to raise my guard, but the man actually leaps into the air and hits me with a drop kick. Ugh. Both of his sandaled feet smash into my chest, forcing the air from my lungs. All of a sudden, it's a struggle just to breathe. Are you serious? A drop kick? Can't remember the last time someone used a move like that on me. Maybe back in grade school during one of our pro wrestling matches? Ugh. Damn, did I underestimate the man just because he's an amateur? That said, I can't use any extreme methods on a civilian. Gouging the man's eyes isn't exactly an option, especially since he's Amane's father. I've mostly been responding in kind to his attacks, using judo techniques, but maybe fighting fair isn't going to cut it. The old man's desperate. Should I let him land an attack, then get him with a grappling technique? I don't know. A dislocated joint or two might not be enough to make this stubborn old man throw in the towel. Maybe the surest plan is to get myself behind him and then force him down by compressing his airway. What's with this? I'm not even trying to provoke the man right now, but it seems like he's even more furious than before. However, I won't resort to any cheap tricks. Go on, old man, hit me with your best shot. First rule of being a man. Some things matter more than your life. Various circumstances might rouse to action. We protect our families from harm. We stand up for our friends when they're insulted. We take responsibilities for our mistakes. The man I'm fighting right now is no exception. He's got things that matter very deeply to him. There's only one reason he's struggling like this, even at the cost of his own dignity. He cares for his family more than his own life, and he's utterly desperate to protect them from an interloper who's come to steal his only daughter away. But no matter how profoundly this man cares about Amane, I'm not about to back down either. I wouldn't have asked for his daughter if I wasn't determined to spend my life with her. And if I can't convey those feelings to him through words, I'll just have to use my fists instead. Eat this, you stubborn old man. I'll show you my feelings for Amane. Sometime later, as the sun crawls down towards the horizon, the two of us are still bashed at each other like a clumsy pair of heavyweights stopped dead in the center of the ring. At this point, our sheer willpower is the only thing keeping us going. I wonder how many hours have passed exactly. At some point, Amane and her mother got tired of watching the match and headed back into the house. His face swollen beyond recognition, the old man swings his fist at me with all the speed of an anemic sloth. I can clearly see his knees trembling. His countless punches have taken their toll on me as well, but I'm younger than he is, and I train myself daily. I've still got some energy to spare. The old man's taken one too many shots to the head. His jaw trembling, he manages to force a few words from his mouth, then falls backward like a freshly cut tree. Looks like I win this one. You don't have the strength to stand back up, just admit defeat, why don't you? I will demand you consent to our marriage, but at the very least, I want you to acknowledge my determination. Fight isn't over until you've given up. That's true enough, I suppose. But from the moment his daughter and his wife lined up against him, I think this man had already resigned himself to defeat. Look at that. What is it? It's not easy to summarize, but I guess I liked how big she was. The fact that she's tall means she's healthy, and that means she probably won't die before me. Amane always cleans her plate, too. She's a fine woman. I promise you, I'll take good care of her. I don't know what it's like to become a father, so I can't say I completely understand what you're trying to tell me. And that said, if you're let me marry your daughter, I'll make damn sure you never regret it. No matter the cost.
Amane って名前の天の字は俺の名前の隆って名前から取ったんだ。天まで噂声が届くほどのいい女になるって意味でAmaneだ。 名は体を表すって言うけどよ。確かにタッパは天まで届くんじゃねえかってくれ。すくすくとよく育ったもんだ。とにかくよ、アマネは俺の全てだ。あいつのためなら俺は何だってする。おめえはアマネのために何ができるってんだ。
Sorry to disappoint you, but I can't exactly hand her the world on a silver platter. That said, I'm gonna try very hard to make her glad she was born. It's about all I can do for her, and I don't think it's gonna be easy.
つかおめえよ、ぶっちゃけ稼ぎの方はどうなんだよ。結婚式とかよ、どうすんだ。
Well, he told me that if I've got that much cash lying around, I should just buy her an Impreza instead.
まあ、あいつらしいっちゃらしいな。けどな、買うんじゃねえぞ。タイヤのついた乗り物ってのは、てめえの金で買わなきゃ意味がねえ。おめえが買ってやった車で事故でも起こしてあいつが死んじまったら気分悪いだろ。自己責任ってのは買う前から発生するもんだ。
I think Amane understands that. I did talk about buying her a car at some point, but she stopped me right away.
結婚式より車か。俺はアマネを滝園に入れるために車を売ったってのによ。時代なのかね。
It was a red Camry, right? Amane was bragging about it to me the other day.
あいつは本当に車が好きなガキでよ。将来どんな女になるのかってよく心配したもんだ。それがどうだ。命の次に大事にしていた車まで売っ払って名門の滝園学園に入れてやりゃとんでもねえトラウマこさえて帰ってきやがった。アマネのやつは目ん玉が飛び出すぐらい高え学費を親に払わせちまった手前、意地になってなんとか卒業まではこぎつけたが、その当時はもうボロボロだった。もう学校になんざ行きたかねえ。滝園を卒業したら店を手伝うってよ。俺は別にそれでも構わねえって思ってたんだけどよ。琴音のやつが店なんかより学校に行けって言い出してよ。そんでまあ母方の実家がある京都の学校に無理やり入れて、向こうで新しい友達もできたんだが、結局向こうでもアマネの過去が問題になっちまってな。アマネのやつ、私と仲良くしてるとその子にも迷惑をかけちまうとかって言い出してよ。結局1年で休学だ。その後は店の手伝いなんかしながら半年ほどフラフラしてたんだが、あいついつの間にかバイクの免許なんか取ってきやがってよ。よっしゃいいのにあのバカ、自分探しの一人旅に出るとか言い出しやがって。どこで手に入れてきやがったのか、ボロボロのバイクに荷物積んでさっさと出て行っちまいやがった。そりゃよ、俺も琴音ももちろん反対はしたぜ。けどよ、その当時のアマネにはそういったよ、魚でいうエラ洗いみたいなもんが必要なんじゃねえかって思ってよ、涙ながらに送り出したってわけよ。どこをどうフラフラしてきたか知らねえが、3ヶ月ほどして戻ってきたアマネは急に学校に行きてえって言い出してよ。この学校ならきっと誰にも迷惑かけないって言いながら、あいつが差し出したのが美浜学園のパンフレットだったってわけだ。
I see. So that's how Amane ended up at Mahama.
学校になんざもう行きたくねえとか言ってたくせによ、夜眠ってると学校に行かなきゃって夢を見て目を覚ますらしいんだわ。学校で作ったトラウマは学校で解消しなきゃいけないって言われりゃ反対する理由もねえわな。
Right? No matter how much you want to get away from the fighting for good, if your life suddenly takes a turn for the peaceful, you'll find yourself yearning for war. Or maybe that's not the right way to put it, actually. It's more of an unsettling feeling, a sense that you've left something undone. You can't heal the wounds you suffered on the battlefield by running away and pretending they never happened.
でだ、またたっけえ金払って美浜に放り込んで今度はうまくやってんのかと思えば、いつの間にかくったらねえ男に熱上げやがって。やってられるかボケ。
It's not all bad, right? She's got time to find herself a man. At least she's not spending all day dwelling on the past.
うっせえボケ。言われなくてもそんなことは分かってんだ。そうかおめえ、 ちゃんと天音を養っていけんのかよ。
I can't say my salary is that impressive, but the official number is a bit misleading. When you add the specialist bonus and basic subsidies to my base salary, at the very least, we won't be going hungry.
ガキができたらどうすんだよ。
Won't be a problem. No matter what it takes, I'll keep food on my family's table.
絶対だな。
Of course I do. It's a promise. Man to man.
そうかよ。じゃあ、天音はおめえにくれてやる。おめえに任せた。
That's the plan, Dad.
だくそ。やっぱおめえに親父とか呼ばれるとバリムカつくぜ。てめえ、もう一発殴らせろ。
Sounds like fun. If you think you can hit me, go ahead and try.
ちょっともう、二人ともまだやってるの？もうすぐ晩ご飯の用意できるから、その前にお風呂入っちゃいな。
So anyway, through somewhat forceful means, I finally succeeded in securing the formal approval of Amane's parents.